Thank you, Chair, and thank you to both speakers. You were excellent and very informative. I note the recommendations are to have a cross-government approach, whole-of-society approach, and then, of course, coordination between member states, building up a European framework of resilience. And it strikes me that we've been here before for non-hybrid threats, security threats, in particular terrorism, where the recommendations were made that we needed to work across government departments, across society, between member states to develop resilience. And it is, of course, extremely difficult even to get government departments to work together. And the critical ingredient, it strikes me, is senior leadership. Where cross-government work is being done, it is like oil and water sometimes, but you're absolutely correct that we need to draw in elements of education, as we heard earlier, in relation to also even health for people who are suffering from disabilities, where there are those that work. So bringing all of that together requires a high level of senior leadership. I'm wondering, Dr. Viegel, if you could confirm that that is a critical element to achieving that framework that you've described. To the second speaker, I understand that you're confining your study to political parties. I think you did mention the influence of funding through think tanks, and it is an area where I believe we should focus our attention. And I noted that the United Kingdom was particularly vulnerable, and it appeared in almost all of the categories of vulnerability to foreign funding that you set out in your presentation. And of course, the UK are no longer in the European Union, but it clearly must have had a major impact on the Brexit referendum. And I wonder, can you say, just across the 20, I'll finish on this, across the 27 member states, is it a case that we are only as strong as the weakest member state? Because clearly smaller member states have less capacity to develop the types of defences that are required here. Is it the case that we are only as strong across the EU as the weakest member state? Thanks, Chair.